Alright people, welcome back to Conquer and Commander. Today we're going to be looking at my Melek, Izzet Paragon Dragonstorm deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com and look up Conquer and Commander. This is another game with the bugs, so my play space is actually going to be up here on the upper left. There's another person with Sacred Foundry art. It's kind of rare actually. Here are my opponents. My opponents are Teneb the Harvester, rock-like graveyard recursion, stuff like that. Emmara who, this is the first time I've actually seen her played. I was expecting a token deck, but it turned out to be more like a bunch of like draft leftovers, I think. But I think the guy also kind of knows what he's doing, so I'm not 100% sure what's up with that deck. And then Grand Arbiter Augustin the Fourth. This card is very, very bad for my deck, especially if I want to make any sort of storm count. Having the tax effect out there is going to really hurt me. So this guy's going to be on my kill list until further notice, essentially. My opening hand has a bunch of mana rocks and mana and Dragonstorm. Normally I wouldn't keep a hand with Dragonstorm in it, but since the rest of my hand looks pretty good, I decided to go ahead and keep it. Grand Arbiter starts off with the first turn since he's divining top. Fetch land for Teneb. I draw Tezzeret. Tezzeret's going to be good with the two artifacts that I have on hand. Mystic Remora is a nice draw card. Emmara tries to naturalize it, but it gets dispelled. So, and a Mystic Remora is another card that, if it stays out there long enough, it's going to draw a ton of cards for Grand Arbiter based upon my deck. So I like Emmara's play to try and blow it up as quickly as possible, but right now what I'm trying to do is ramp out, and I can't pay the tax on the Remora, and Grand Arbiter keeps it out there. Emmara doesn't have anything else right now. Teneb does nothing. I got another fetch land. I'm able to play Thran Dynamo. Grand Arbiter draws another card. He keeps the upkeep going on the Mystic Remora. Emmara plays Primeval Light. Destroy all enchantments target player controls. It's a cool card. I don't really see it played that often, but it's interesting. Grand Arbiter gets to draw again, and the Remora is gone. I play Tezzeret, and I use him to untap my two... Oh, no. What I do is I use to accelerate by getting Great Furnace out there. There's nothing out there that's really going to threaten him, so I'm going to try and either use him to accelerate or to try and increase my Dragonstorm count. So Grand Arbiter spins the top and reveals Temporal Manipulation. It only costs him 2, but it is a 7 mana spell. I'm holding Mana Drain, and I feel like I kind of want to go off soon here. I probably do this a little prematurely, but I just don't want him taking an extra turn or having any sort of advantage at this point. So I decided to go ahead and Mana Drain it. Because it is 7 mana. I search up Volcanic Island, and I Mana Drain it. And he does nothing else. Emmara plays Verdant Eidolon. I mean, this is just like a cool, weird, random card. And this is kind of why I'm like, okay, maybe it is just draft leftovers. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure what's going on with this deck. Teneb plays Reliquary Tower and Bloodgift Demon. So I get 7 mana, and I have a personal tutor. I try to play Melek, and this is when Grand Arbiter has Hinder. So I lose Melek, and I don't see Melek for the rest of the game. But I do have enough mana to cast Personal Tutor just to increase my Dragonstorm count, and go ahead and Dragonstorm, and I use Tezzeret to untap stuff. I don't actually plan on playing the Drain Power, I just wanted to increase the Dragonstorm count. I kill the Bloodgift Demon with Boggart and Hellkite. I find Hellkite Igniter, who's probably the best dragon in the deck. And then I use Niv-Mizzet's ability to ping Grand Arbiter. I grabbed Izzet because I just need to draw cards. I'm out of cards in hand now. Other than that, I just picked 2 hasty guys. And the Igniter, although there's only... Oh, there are 4 artifacts out there already for him. But at this point, I'd rather just draw cards. And I deal another damage to Grand Arbiter, and I attack him with my 2 hasty dragons. So he's down to 26. Inner Fire isn't going to help me much, but I do have Epic Experiment, and I have the ability to make a decent amount of mana, so it'll be interesting to see what I do here. Grand Arbiter plays Capture of Jingzhou, so he's obviously heavy on the Time Walk effects. I have 1 Time Walk effect in this deck, and I misplay it, and that's why I lose this game. Oh, sorry, spoiler warning. The Grand Arbiter doesn't do anything. Emmara plays Worst Claw, which is just a big elemental horror, and he attacks Emmara, or she attacks Emmara, or Grand Arbiter, for an extra 2. Teneb plays Solemn Simulacrum to ramp a little bit. Alright, at this point, I just want Grand Arbiter out, and I'm expecting something like Evacuation or something, because he's obviously holding back mana. So, I'm going to attack him and pump the Hellkite Igniter a little bit, and keep at least 1 dragon back, just in case Force Claw comes after me. I pump the Hellkite Igniter big enough to kill him. However, he does have an answer. He has Time Stop. And then somebody else piles on. Oh, he condemns my Niv-Mizzet too, which is a little sad times for me, because this was my card draw card right here. So in response, I go ahead and ping him once or twice. I think just once in order to draw a card. And that's the end of the turn. So, oh yeah, I strip mine one of his lands because I just didn't want him doing anything crazy at this point, and I was happy with my current mana situation. He still has 6 lands, so I mean, it's possible he could planar cleansing or something, but I just didn't want him going completely nuts while he was on the ropes right now. He's still at 22, so he's not that far down. He plays his own Tezzeret to kill, get rid of mine. That rule will go away soon with the new legend rule. And then Emmara attacks the Grand Arbiter player, mainly because he's open. And then Emmara comes out. She's a big 5/7 elf shaman. Teneb plays Acidic Slime, and he destroys my Thran Dynamo. So I'm losing little bits of mana here. However, the Hellkite Igniter is still fairly big. I do have scroll racks, so I can start trying to stack the top of my deck. I attack Grand Arbiter with my 2 dragons, leaving 1 behind just in case, and I end up killing the Grand Arbiter. And then I put a bunch of stuff on top of my library. I have Ponder and Mana Vault, and I put Epic Experiment on top of my library. I have a fetch land out there, but I'm not going to use it right now. Emmara comes after me. I'm willing to take that damage right now. Teneb plays Demonic Tutor. And Shriek Maw. And he Shriek Maws my Hellkite Igniter, which is a good play. Alright. So first thing I do is I ponder. Inner Fire isn't going to help me a ton right here, but Epic Experiment will. So I decide to draw the Epic Experiment, and then I shuffle my library with my fetch land. And I'm hoping that I've got a new set of fun things on top of my library now. I cast Mana Vault for some extra mana. And I Epic Experiment for, I believe, 9. that's 5, 8, which is... I'm not worried about losing the Dragon Storm is the most expensive card in my deck, mana cost wise, so I can Epic Experiment for 8, and I'll feel okay. All right, so this is all the fun stuff I get. I get Banefire Dragon, Island, and Susang. I lose those guys, but there's Serum Visions, Pongify, Frantic Search, Impulse, and Drain Power. So first I Drain Power Emmara to get all her mana. And I Frantic Search, and I get Fabricate in my hand with the Frantic Search. Then I Impulse, and I put Mind's Desire in my hand. And then I've got Serum Visions. And with the Serum Visions, I Pongify Emmara. I don't know why I put Coral Atoll on top instead of the Time Warp. Anyways, one of my dragons gets killed or exiled. I don't even remember. Oh, I think it was Rorix. Yeah, it was Rorix. Rorix gets killed. So, the good thing about Epic Experiment is that you actually cast those cards. So now I've got a storm count of 9, and I played Mind's Desire for 9. And this way I can actually get my dragons out. Yeah, there's the Rorix. If I pull them up. And I still have 2 mana left over. So this is the fun stuff that I get to pull out with the Mind's Desire. Gilded Lotus, Hellkite Charger, Niv Mizzet again, Solemn Simulacrum, I get Jace here. I've got a Mystical Tutor. I think I got a Cyclonic Rift too to bounce something. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, okay. So I Mystical Tutor for for Time Warp, and I Spell Twine, getting Selesnya Charm because there aren't. I think there was a Demonic Tutor in Teneb's deck, but I completely missed it. Graveyard. I Spell Twine for Drain Power, that's right. And the Selesnya Charm, maybe? Yeah. Anyways, no, yeah. And I Drain Power Teneb in order to get a few more mana. So I've got 6 mana here. And this is the problem with the deck, is it's a little dirtily. I mean, you can take long turns and like not kill anybody. But anyways, I'm able to draw Time Warp with Jace. And I cast Time Warp. And I Fabricate for Steel Hellkite just to increase my dragon count. And I attack with both of my dragons after Emmara. So now it's my turn again. And I get... I draw into Mana Geyser. But my issue is I need to draw cards. Luckily I've got Niv Mizzet and Jace Beleren. So first I play out Vera Hellkite. And I attack in order to get a bunch of Hellkites. Or, yeah, dragons. And this is where I screw up. So I've got Archaeomancer right here. And I've got plenty of mana. Or I can make plenty of mana with Mana Geyser. Let's see here. No, I can't. I can't do it right now. But what I can do is I can Archaeomancer right now for the Time Warp. So that I can have an extra turn the following turn. But so with the Oblivion Ring, my Advari Hellkite gets exiled, and then he plays Sarah Angel, and Emmara doesn't have an answer. And the Teneb player, Tooth and Nails, but can't entwine it because he just doesn't have enough mana. So he gets Eternal Witness and Runescar Demon, but can't cast anything. So I ping somebody with Niv-Mizzet, and I get Dragon's Breath, and then I screw around here. Okay. For some reason, I should be able to win the game right now. There's the Mana Geyser. And I draw Dragon Breath. The Hellkite Igniter, or Charger, was Oblivion Ringed, and what I wanted to do, and I wasn't even thinking about Time Warp at this point, was bounce the Oblivion Ring so that I could get the Hellkite Charger and do multiple attack steps. I was forgetting, number one, that the dragons brought about by our Hellkite don't have haste, and number two, that the Charger's ability costs 7. The easy way to do it is, like I'd already said, Archaeomancer for Time Warp, and I had enough mana right now to do that. So first I play Inner Fire, and then I play Mana Geyser, and then I get Archaeomancer, and like I said, I should have just Time Warped. Instead, what I do is I go for Cyclonic Rift, and then I cast Cyclonic Rift with Overload, and that's exactly where I lose the game right there. And I've only got 6 mana, and I don't have the amount that I need in order to kill off both. Actually, if I'd had 1 more mana, I would have been able to win the game here too. Just a bad mistake. I've got Time Warp in the deck, and I didn't use it. And I managed to kill off the Emmara Tandris player. The Teneb player has Demonic Tutor, so he Eternal Witnesses for the Demonic Tutor, grabs the Demonic Tutor, and gets Day of Judgment to wipe my board. And then I'm just kind of like boned. Like the rest of the game, I'm not even really going to go about explaining. I do a bunch of tricks with the Scroll Rack, but I draw into nothing. I do have the Steel Hellkite, but he's at 17, and I don't have enough mana really to kill him at this point, even with the Dragon Breath pumping the Hellkite. I knock him down to like 7 or something like that here. 9, okay. And that's about as low as he goes. So Teneb comes out, Skull Clamp. I do have Mystifying Maze right here to deal with Teneb attacking me, especially because I have some big dragons in the graveyard I don't want him going after. I attack, and then I pump, and he blocks with Teneb, I think. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, he Swords to Plowshare, is that right? So then I just pump the crap out of him because I've got nothing in hand right now. I do have fetch lands, and I kind of keep using them in order to change up what's on top of my library, but so I'm up to 41, but I don't draw anything. I use Mystifying Maze to get the Teneb. Misty Rainforest I crack, and then I use Scroll Rack again, and I get Turnabout, which isn't going to help me right now. He tributes to the wild, and I get rid of my Mana Vault. I'm also really tired at this point. It's like after midnight here, and so that kind of leads me to me like practically falling asleep while I'm playing this game. Runescar Demon comes out. Runescar Demon is not a card I can use Mystifying Maze on, obviously. So once again, I Scroll Rack, and I get Time Spiral, right? Okay, sweet, Time Spiral. Let's do it. I Time Spiral, I draw into practically nothing. Compulsive Research can get me Soothsaying, and I ponder a little bit. I get Advara Hellkite back. The problem is both of his dragon and his demon are really big, and I can't just attack into them. I do have Soothsaying, and I've got a decent amount of mana, so if I want, I can try and finagle with the top of my deck. He's using Sensei's Divining Top. And he Tooth and Nails, but he can Entwine now. So he's got Acidic Slime and Shouldered. He uses Acidic Slime to get rid of my Mystifying Maze. Then he attacks me. And I screw around with the top of my library. And he plays Vampire Nighthawk. So now he's got two flyers. I do have Hellkite Charger. But with the 2 flyers, he's got the defense that he needs. It was dumb of me to pay the thing right there. Again, I was tired. I frantic search and I don't get anything. I've got these 2 dragons. And I was literally falling asleep at this point. So, anyways, he had the game. And I wasn't drawing anything anytime soon. But I had the chance to win there. You guys saw how the deck can be if it's in action the way it needs to be. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed it.